Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thousands of memories are created on your magical vacation. Those memories can live on forever in the photos that are taken. Join us today as we go on a journey in Capturing Magic.
Welcome to Capturing Magic. I'm Steph from capturingmagic.me. This is episode 61, recorded on October 2nd, 2013. And I have here with me Stephanie Haining, who is on the Capturing Magic team, and she also can be found at hainingmade.com. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today.
Always fun.
Yeah. We have joining us today for the very first time Tangie Baxter, who can be found at tangiebaxter.com. Hi, Tangie.
Hello.
Let's share a little bit about you with our listeners, since you haven't been on this show before. I've had you on other shows of mine, but you are a big Disney fan.
I am a huge Disney fan. Maybe not as big as some people, but yes, we are a Disney family.
And you're mostly Disneyland, right?
Yeah. I've only been to Disney World once. Me and my husband went on our honeymoon there.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So that was a long time ago.
And so when you go to the parks, we like to always tell our listeners which parks, we know you go to Disneyland, but who do you usually go with?
Usually I go with my family, like extended family, sisters, their kids and everything. But for the first time in October, we just took our daughter and took 3 of her friends. So that was a new, interesting way to do Disney.
Yeah.
With a lot of 15-year-olds.
That's what I was going to say, because you have a teenage daughter, right?
Yeah. So for her birthday, that's what she wanted to do.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Lots of fun. And you, at tangiebaxter.com, you're really known for your art journaling.
Yes, that's what I do, is the art journaling and doing the art journaling online workshops and digital supplies.
Digital scrapbooking supplies. And then you have a brand new adventure that you just started with your live studio.
Oh, yeah. It's so exciting. Yeah, we just opened a studio here in Mesa, Arizona for people to come take art journaling classes in a live setting. The studio is set up all specifically for art journaling, which I don't know of any other studios that are set up for that. So it's pretty exciting.
That's very exciting. And you just had your grand opening there, I think, right?
Yep, on September 21st, September 21st, a couple weekends ago. So
for our Arizona locals, tell them the name of your Artspiration studio, right?
Yeah, Artspiration Studio. It's on Gilbert and Brown Road in East Mesa.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very exciting.
It is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you also have a brand new adventure that you're embarking on, and that's actually why we have you here today, because you know, one new adventure isn't enough. You like to do them back to back.
Yeah, I'm kind of crazy like that. My dad was like that. He'd start a business, and once it got off the ground, he's like, okay, that was fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
So once something gets going, then I am always, wanting to start the new thing.
The next thing.
So, but this one actually it ties into the Artspiration, studio and getting art journaling out there in the world.
Yeah. So tell us about art journaling then. Because I'm really worried. I told you this before we recorded. I'm worried that some of our male listeners, because we have a lot for this show, that they're going to hit stop right when they hear the word art journaling.
Yeah, it's like right now they're like, what is this?
And I guess I shouldn't, that's kind of sexist. I shouldn't say that our male listeners, I'm worried that some of our listeners might, because I'm sure that we have some female listeners as well that feel like they're not as creative, and I would have been one of those back in the day, I will admit.
Yeah.
How many times have I told you that in my life? I don't do art journaling. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So it's interesting because hopefully I can just go into this little side story. With the studio, Samantha's guy friends, she was having like a night there, and they didn't want to come.
Samantha is your daughter. We need
Yeah,
to...
I'm sorry. Yeah, Samantha's my daughter. And so we would let her have this night down at the studio with her friends, and her guy friends did not want to come. And once she got them down there and going, it was the guys that would not stop. And the girls were all sitting around the table like, we're tired. We're going to go home. It was like midnight.
Funny.
And the guys are all like still doing it and totally into it. And it's once we can, anyone for that matter,
Yes.
that doesn't think that they can do it, once they start, it's really hard to stop.
Anyone that's apprehensive about it.
Yeah. And it's always, I find the ones that are apprehensive about it enjoy it the most right at first because they really believe they can't do it. So when they realize they can, it's kind of liberating and they're excited to keep running with it. So anyway.
Stephanie, have you done any art journaling?
Not really. And I so want to. So this is going to be very fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk about it.
I'm doodling right now.
Yay,
Well,
you.
that goes along right with art journaling. So
As we're chatting, I'm sitting here doodling.
yes, yeah. Anyone that has ever been a doodler is already an art journaler, really. So, but art journaling really is just about, it's documenting memories and your feelings and art all in one. And why it's so liberating and fun is that there are no rules to it. So you could doodle, or you could watercolor, or you could just cut and paste and do collage. You can use crayons or a pencil. It's just keeping it all in one book. And it's kind of like a sketchbook of your life, really. It can have your grocery list and your calendar for the month and it even. So a lot of people think it's just about doing art, but it's just so much more than that. One of the things about scrapbooking is that it's so concise and every page is about a specific memory, and which is fine. I have nothing against scrapbooking, obviously. But what I like about art journaling is it has a lot more of the feelings and journaling towards it. And sometimes there's not even any pictures. So
any photograph pictures, you mean?
Photographs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we don't always have a photograph in that moment of what we're feeling or what we're thinking.
And I know a lot of times in scrapbooking and things like that, we get consumed with the rules of design a lot of times to make our layouts look better and more attractive. We delve into learning, the different rules of designs and what makes something look good and why or why not. And that's something that is completely ignored in art journaling.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is, there's a lot more scribbling, messy handwriting. You're really capturing the essence of who you really are through your handwriting, through what you're saying, through the things that you glue in or write over. Scrapbooking is it's the perfect parts of your adventures or your trips or your family. Not that you don't have pictures of, the ice cream all spilled and melted and there was bees everywhere, that kind of stuff. But art journals tend to be a lot more of what was going on a daily basis as far as how you were feeling and the things that were going on around you. That I find personally gets lost by the time you get home and you're ready to scrapbook.
Yeah.
Sometimes, obviously some of the pictures that I have now of my daughter that never got scrapped are 10 years old now. I wasn't lucky enough to have all this technology when she was growing up at Disneyland,
Right.
So much of that is lost, which I think is really sad. So that's what I love about art journaling is because there are no rules, it can be done very, very fast. And in fact, I only encourage people, just to spend 10 minutes a day art journaling, and it really will change you. It's easier to keep track of your dreams and your goals 10 minutes a day than it is just every once in a while. So,
okay, so that leads us into very perfectly when you're talking about dreams and goals, what you are planning on doing, how this ties into Disney.
I am so excited. Can barely keep myself contained in the chair here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to launch a new event called Art Journaling the Magic. And it is going to be a art journaling class that is done at Disneyland, at the Disneyland parks, both California Adventure and Disneyland, and teaching people how to use art journaling to not only capture memories at Disneyland using watercoloring and also other easier means, such as gluing and pasting and just writing notes at Disneyland, but also as a way to soak up the magic of Disneyland and the dreams that were born there, and using Walt Disney as an inspiration to go after our own dreams. And so all of that will be tied into this 4-day retreat that will be held at Disneyland, where we'll have classes. We're going to actually have classes, and where we'll actually go into Disneyland and kind of slow down and not worry so much about the rides and the lines.
And the fast passes.
Yeah, and the fast passes, running to and fro, but just actually choosing some locations, sitting down, taking some deep breaths and soaking in the magic of Disney and where you're actually at, and how you got there and how Disneyland came to be, and just really absorb some of that amazing energy that's there, and absorb some of the magic of things like, unfortunately, the Court of Angels that will be gone, but there's still so many places at Disney like that where they're just there to be there. And that's what makes Disney so different than other places, is all the amazing detail, and you can actually rest at Disneyland and soak in some of those amazing environments. So we'll be doing a lot of that. So
Okay, for somebody like me, because my goal is to come to this. I'm working towards making it happen. I've kind of committed to you a soft commitment that I'll be there.
Yes.
And that I will be learning right along with everybody else. And I'm probably the perfect candidate for this because art journaling terrifies me. I've done some digital art journaling on my computer where I can make it be perfect, right? Which is the opposite of art journaling. But I don't
a little sliver of that, though, Steph.
I don't feel like I can draw a bit. I don't feel like I can paint a bit. It terrifies me, really.
Yeah. Well, I'll be the first to just shout out here and say that this watercoloring style is something that I've just discovered for recently myself, because I have never, in fact, on the other shows and stuff that I've talked about, I have never, ever claimed to be an artist as far as being able to draw or paint. All my art journals, if anyone's ever seen them, are super messy, super fast. I have no patience. But I really believe that everyone can do this watercoloring style that I'm going to show everybody.
You're going to teach.
That I'm going to teach and that we're going to learn. I really believe everyone can do it because, number one, it's not supposed to be exact. It's supposed to be your impression of where you're at that moment. It's supposed to be fast. We're only going to have maybe 15 minutes to draw it. And so you have to let go of a lot of that perfectionism and just realize that it's your impression of being there at the moment, and the feelings that you had are poured into that piece of paper through drawing. And so you'll really be able to let go of some of that and do it. And also, when you realize that drawing is just drawing, if you can write, we all know how to write. None of us were born knowing how to make the letters of the alphabet. It's something we practiced over and over and over again. So everyone can draw, and sure, some people are going to need a little bit more practice than others if they want it to be more perfect, but everyone can start somewhere. And the other tip that I have for drawing and doing these watercolor styles is turning everything into letters. So you can look at something and say, oh, that's kind of like a U shape, so I'm just going to draw a U. Or it's an A shape. There's not very many shapes out there in the world that are already in our alphabet.
Interesting.
So you really can, if you just think of it as learning a new alphabet, you can do it. And the great thing is that part of this retreat is you're going to get the drawing watercolor portion of the workshop before we leave. So you can practice on your own time if you want. But that's such a small part of what we're going to be doing that I don't want people to stress out that, oh my gosh, I can't draw. Because you will be able to by the time we're done. I promise.
Very cool.
So, I just started really embracing that style of doing art journals not very long ago.
Yeah, you sent me I think your very first watercolor thing that you did that was Disney related. Was it one of your very first watercolor things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I set the timer for 10 minutes. And of course, I was just looking at a photo, which it's not going to be the same as actually being there. I was looking at a photo and I set the timer for 10 minutes and I gave myself that long. And because it's just the impression of it, it's fabulous, because everybody knows what that looks like. But more importantly, you know what the castle looks like and you were there and you drew it. And that's all that's important. And my husband the other day, I was giving myself a little bit of a hard time and he was like, Tangie, it doesn't matter how good it is. What's important is the fact that you're doing it. And I think that's so true that we all need to remember that. And it's just a new way to capture those Disney memories. And I kind of talked to you about this before, Steph, is that as I get older and go to Disneyland, like I said, we took my daughter and her friends. They were all off on their own for the first time. And as I sat at Disneyland with just me and my husband, I was thinking, okay, I love Thunder Mountain, but how many times are we going to ride this today? I was yearning for something else to do at Disneyland,
Yeah.
And so that's how this idea was born, really.
Right. Was for you to figure out a different way to show your love.
Yeah. Exactly. And to just finally be at a time in my life where I could soak up that energy, just looking at the succulent gardens at the Mexican food restaurant and just looking at all the beautiful trees and the flowers and everything that Disney just does so well and really appreciating it and not from being in line.
Yeah. The details they have there are just so amazing.
Yes.
And I noticed one time we're just walking. It was kind of that crossway between Fantasyland and Frontierland. So it's kind of the back of Thunder Mountain. So it's like this back corner of Thunder Mountain that really does anyone pay attention to? And they still have the theming of the mine cars and all of the props that go with it. And I was just amazed at this tiny corner in the very back side of this attraction that people walk past still has the ultimate details down to just the smallest little things.
Yeah
it's true. You miss a lot of it when we're hurrying and just using these thoroughfares as a thoroughfare, just as that, to get from one place to another and not slowing down to take it in, because there are so many details.
Yes. Yep.
So many details that,
or the windows on Main Street. So if you really stop and look at the windows up on the and also the windows in Toontown, the gags,
they're hilarious.
So funny.
Yeah, and the windows on the buildings in on Big Thunder Mountain, the little mining town thing that you at the end. They're really quite funny.
I've always tried to get a picture of it, but you come by too fast.
It'll be interesting to see if that's changed or what's changed when they
what's going on over there.
Yeah, for sure. We're all a little in suspense here, waiting to see what happens.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what are some of the other things that we can expect? Because I know that it's more than watercoloring.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'll also show you how to use, one of the other things that happens when you go to Disney is you come home and you're like, oh, this napkin's so cute. And I love this map. And, oh, my gosh, did you see this new postcard? And it's like, what do you do with all that stuff when you come home? Because technically you're not supposed to glue all that stuff in your scrapbooks, right? So also,
or if you're digital like me, you just aren't going to do anything with it because you're too lazy to scan. I mean, not all digital people are lazy like me. But I am, and I don't scan.
Yeah. Well, and I don't either. I don't. So I'm going to also show you how to use all of that fun stuff in your art journal as you go along. And you can even we're going to have these travel-sized art journaling kits where you can actually incorporate all that stuff throughout your day so that when you leave Disney, you will have this finished book, this amazing book that you'll have of your trip, and you don't have to go home and feel guilty. Oh, I really need to go write all that stuff down before I forget. Or what am I going to do with this bag full of stuff I brought home and it just sits in a cupboard? So I'm going to be showing everybody how to do that. And then we're going to be doing a lot of other just fun Disney activities as well that we might not normally get to do, like going and getting the reserved seating at World of Color and taking the I need to say hopefully because Disney hasn't released the schedules that far, nor will they let us make reservations yet. But taking the Walk and Waltz Footsteps tour and those kind of really fun things as well is going to be all part of this retreat.
So you're also going to be making memories as well as documenting them.
Yes, we're going to be doing some really exciting, fun stuff while we're there as well. And there'll be free time for people to do Disney the way they want to do Disney if they want to. Of course, we'll be riding the rides and stuff too, but we'll be spending a good chunk of the mornings doing the workshops.
So workshops in the mornings, and I think you're doing those in some restaurants and things like that, right?
Yeah, we're for sure doing one of the workshops at Rainforest Cafe. They are going to let us have the whole second floor for the morning, and it will include breakfast. And then I'm still trying to work out a few of the details as far as what we're going to do the second day. But the Walk and Waltz Footsteps tour includes lunch, so we might just be doing that on Friday morning. So,
very fun.
We're for sure going to have one workshop Thursday morning, and then we'll be having a Wednesday night gathering kind of party on Wednesday night as well, where we'll be doing some of the workshop stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Fun. And then so people can go off on their own if they want to.
Yeah, so we'll have the final itinerary obviously will only be released to the students, but there'll definitely be some free time. And then we're going to be done on Saturday evening, and the park probably obviously will be open till midnight, so they'll have all of Saturday night. And then if they want to stay and go on Sunday, they can as well. So it's from Wednesday night to Saturday evening.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So are there any kinds of special skills or supplies that people are going to need?
Nope. All the whole travel kit is included in the workshop fee. So they don't need to bring anything but themselves, which is nice because I didn't want people to have to worry about ordering, certain stuff. And the other thing too, when you have people order it or bring it themselves, it's not always exactly what's on the class list, and then it's hard to help them because you're not familiar with the materials they brought. So I'm going to provide everything for the workshop and the travel kits, and we're looking for some really cool bags right now that they'll be in that we can carry in the park, so that will all be included in that. And then as far as skills, honestly, anybody can do this. And I really believe that. So, and my husband, he loves doing this stuff. The guys actually always seem to get the drawing part of it right off the bat a lot faster.
Interesting.
I think it's because they're and I just mean this in a generality. It's easier for them to just let go of that perfectionism or something. But he just goes for it, and he likes to do the drawing and stuff. Now, we haven't done the drawing at Disneyland before, but when we go art journaling and stuff, he's always sitting there drawing everything. So it's really fun.
Because that's one of the things that I think I just love watching on Instagram how supportive your husband is of all of your art journaling efforts.
He is. He really gets into all of it. He makes all the journals. So like the journals for this workshop, they'll all be made by him.
Oh, wow.
Because it's something that takes patience, which I have zero of. So I sent him to some bookmaking classes because I was like, I can't even handle this. And so he learned how to make, and now he has his own distinct style of art journals that he makes. And he makes all the art journals in our Etsy site and that we sell in our store and for the workshops I teach and everything. So,
because tell us about his journals and what kind of what people can expect for their journal that they'll get in this workshop?
Okay, I think as of right now, what we're going to be doing is the Golden Book journals, and you can look at those on our Etsy site, which you can find from tangiebaxter.com. But we will be asking people what their favorite Disney movie or story is, and we'll be finding vintage Golden Books. And he will be making, so he takes the covers off of the Golden Books and takes the pages out. And then he recreates and makes a brand new spine and puts watercolor paper journal into the books. And they're a lot fatter after that, obviously. And so there'll be vintage Golden Book journals that everybody will have of their favorite Disney story or movie, if we can find everyone's. Yeah, so that'll give it a nice personal touch, because everyone's journal will be made specifically for them.
So cool.
Yeah.
I so want to go.
I know. I know. So cool.
I'm so excited.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and also the Golden Books are coming. I know that my son, we have a couple. They're like reissues, because there was one that I had growing up that I absolutely loved, and I found a new one.
Yeah.
But I guess it's been republished. I snatched that one up.
Yes.
It was a Mickey and Minnie, the Mother Goose Tales.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I have a little kind of obsession with Golden Books. I have a few too many. Let's just put it that way.
But you're putting them to good use.
Well, no, I won't let him touch my Golden Book. We have to buy them off eBay or find them at thrift stores or somewhere to get the vintage ones, but he's not allowed to touch mine. So
yours are off the market.
Yeah, but that's how he started figuring those out, because I did an Alice in Wonderland workshop last year, and I wanted Alice in Wonderland journals, and so that's the best way we could figure out how to do it, was to make them out of the Golden Books, and I love how they turned out. So I have a Pete's Dragon one right now. So
cute.
They're fun. They're really fun.
Yeah. So people can check out your website by going to artjournalingthemagic.com.
Yes. Yeah, or you can go to tangiebaxter.com, and there will be a portal on the front page.
Yeah, a link over there.
Yeah, whatever is easier. But yeah, artjournalingthemagic.com, and it will be live by the time the show airs.
Mm-hmm. And I know that the workshop size is very limited, because you don't want to be a whole big mass of people moving through.
Yes, it's going to be 20 people, not including me and Dave and my daughter. So 23 people at the most. Yeah, we don't want to be causing any kind of traffic jams or scenes or anything. And I want to be able to give people one-on-one attention and help when they need it. And we usually go, when our family goes, it's about 25 people. And I feel like that's about the maximum you can get away with to do stuff.
Yeah.
Before you start causing a scene everywhere you go. So yeah, and I'm excited too, because like I've talked to you, Steph, about using the printers and some of the different technology that we want to bring in. I don't want to have the group so large that we are not able to share that with everyone in the group.
Yeah,
So-
one of the things that you and I had talked about is the happy printers, where you can print just from your cell phone, so that people will be
Right.
able to print photos from their experiences while they're there if they want, and include those in their art journals.
Yep, in their journals right in the park, which I am super thrilled about. And I'll be talking about also how you can use Instagram to use in your journals, which is really a fun thing to do, because Instagram's so great. So
And other kinds of fun apps too.
yeah, and there'll be other apps as well.
Which is just great, because we all love our geeky stuff around
Yes.
here.
Oh, yeah.
We love our apps.
Yeah. I know, Stephanie, that you had asked Tangie a question that I think you should ask here too.
Okay. For those of us that cannot go, and I am seriously very, very bummed about this, will you be doing an online or a self-paced for that when you are able to go to the park, that you can, take out a journal and kind of sit and take it all in on an individual
Yes.
level?
I am thinking about it. How's that for an answer? What I want to do is I want to go do this first one,
Right.
live one, and then we are going to do some iPhone recording and some different things as well. And I'll see how it goes. And if the quality of the program would be how I want it to be, I will probably do that at some point after we get back. So it would be in spring. But I would love to, I really want to start doing this workshop at least twice a year. So I'm just going to have to think about how that all works into it.
Yeah,
So,
you have to be careful that it doesn't take away from doing the live event.
yes, exactly.
But I can also see the benefit of having it for people that might be, their family vacations aren't at the same time or whatever.
Exactly. And because you have to be 16 or older to do this this event, I understand that it's going to be hard for some, for some people to just leave their families and go do Disney and do it this way without the kids and family in tow. So yes, that's definitely something I'm thinking about. And I will keep everybody updated on that as soon as the live event is over.
And you're recovered.
Yes. So I just want to make sure it's something that I can translate well into doing an online workshop.
I really hope you can.
Yeah. Yeah. And I might get back and just decide, okay, we're going to do it totally different for October. So we'll just, so I'm excited, and I hope we'll find, enough people to come. I think we will. I think it's going to sell out really fast.
I think that's going to be your problem.
Yeah. I think it's going to sell out too fast, actually. But that we'll see how it goes, and I will tweak the program early next year I would like to be able to offer it to as many people as possible, because I do think art journaling does help us achieve our dreams, and it helps us keep track of the things that we want to do in our life. And being at Disney with all that magic and using the workbook that I'm in the middle of creating right now, using Disney-inspired quotes and stories from Uncle Walt, that it's going to be a really good tool for people who are wanting to start projects or overcome a fear to make their dreams come true. So, and I don't say that in a trite way at all. I say that in a very sincere way, because I'm a firm believer in following your dreams. So
then I'm sure do you have the that book, Walt Disney Famous Quotes? I think Dave Smith compiled it.
You know what? Someone was just telling me about that, and I need to get it. I'm writing it down.
I just looked on Amazon. I think they still have them. And I think I might have gotten my copy of it back in Disneyland eons ago. So it's really great. It's organized by category.
Oh, very
so it's almost like a glossary. So if you look up challenge, it has, I think it's kind of fun to do the impossible. So they're all quotes from him about different
really
topics.
Cool. Okay, someone must have been telling me about something else, because it wasn't that cool. So yeah, I'll have to check that
out. That sounds amazing. Is it out of print?
I don't know. Let me see on my Amazon.
I think that's my pick this week.
It does appear, when I pulled it up on Amazon, it looks like you're going mostly to used listings.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, there you go.
David Smith. Okay, well, I'll have to get on there afterwards. And
then you also, it has things, like this, and it has like the quotable Walt Disney and how to be like Walt.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Dave Smith used to be the chief archivist for Disney.
Yeah.
And just not too long ago retired, but he still does lots of stuff for them. He was at D23. I got to meet him.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was like
So fabulous stuff.
well, no, it was just a dream come true for me, because it's like, the archive, the one that keeps track of Disney memories, official Disney memories, how that's like my dream. Everybody has the Imagineer or whatever that they want to meet. For me, it was Dave Smith.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah, that was amazing.
That's
be able
really
to do
cool.
that. Yeah. Alrighty. I had another question that I was going to ask you, but now it's totally escaped me. Oh, I remember what it was. When you were talking about dreams and how art journaling helps with that, I'm going to put you on the spot. what have you seen people be able to do through art journaling and keeping track of their goals and dreams that way?
Well, can I start with myself?
Yes, please do. I mean, I'm making you put your money where your mouth is right now.
Okay. Yes, I will. I'll start with myself as I think of some of the other people. But the Artspiration Studio definitely was all through art journaling and spilling that out and just really refining what it was I wanted to do and why I wanted to do it. It's a great way to just really work that all out somewhere instead of keeping all that inside of your head. And also I was able, as I went along, to print stuff out and paste it in there. Like, someday if I have a studio, this is what I want it to look like. And so I have this really cool book of that. And the earliest that I mention it in my art journal is 3 years ago. So that's all there. I've also seen people work through.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick.
Yes,
right
please.
There. Because one of the things that really impresses me about you is that anything you say you want to do and is a dream of yours, it happens almost. And you told me about the Artspiration Studio, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When we went out to lunch when I came down to Arizona and you told me you wanted to do this. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, that's a big thing. And I think you need to go into a little bit of what you had to do to make your Artspiration, because it wasn't a little thing. It was a big, it was a big deal.
It's a big thing. Well, I think part of it is just being, I don't know, crazy enough to go after it. I heard this quote once that, 90% of a job is the confidence to do it. 90% of knowing how to do a job is the confidence to do it. So I don't know.
I think that goes for your dreams too.
Yes, exactly. When you believe in something and you want something enough that you're not willing to just look at every little roadblock that comes up as like, oh, I guess it's not supposed to happen. And I look at it, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? Where do I need to tweak my dream? What skills do I need to overcome this? And I really work on it from that angle instead of thinking of things as impossible. And also, I am a firm believer in the law of attraction. And I use visualizing through my journals. And I write things as if they've already happened. So I don't write in my journal, I want to open an art studio. I write in my journal, I am so thankful and happy I have this beautiful art journaling studio, and I write in very descriptive terms what it looks like and how I feel when I'm there. And I know that might sound a little woo-woo for a lot of people. And that's okay, because it does sound woo-woo for a lot of people. But I really have used that so many times in my life that I cannot deny that it works. So for me, it's about enjoying the things that I want and the things that I want to do before I've even had them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like at night when I'm laying there, I think about this workshop like it's already happened, like we're already done with it. It's in the past, and all the things that went right and how I felt while I was there and the people that came. And I know that sounds so weird. But it really works for me because it really helps you visualize the details of everything that needs to happen and everything that falls in place. If you can imagine the 20 workshop students standing around you and what kind of experience you want them to have and the things that you're giving them, it makes planning it backwards a lot easier instead of planning forwards. And that's what I did with the studio. I planned it backwards. So
okay, so you did a Kickstarter project because that was one of the big things was coming up with funding. You didn't want to go into debt for it.
No, no debt. No debt. So so what I wanted to do with Kickstarter is I thought, what's a way where I can have people feel like they're a part of this and feeling like when they came, it was partly their studio. And then the Kickstarter crowdfunding type things it's just the perfect time to try that in the digital community. And I think I'm the first one that did that in our community.
Yeah.
2 years ago, that wouldn't have been possible. So again, timing is everything, and just waiting for the perfect. I mean, I didn't know that that's what I was waiting for, but as I kept working on it and refining my goals, it just happened to be the right time to just go for it, and just being crazy enough to jump off that bridge and just not. I wanted the studio more than I was scared of failing.
Right.
And so when you get to that point, that's really where your dreams come true.
Yeah.
So,
and it's how much were you able to raise via Kickstarter?
we did 30,000.
Yeah,
we raised
amazing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So,
And you're right now, I know you're in the process of fulfilling all of those things that the awards.
yes. Yes. Hopefully the last of them go out in October. They're due in October. So we're, that's the hard part is trying to see out into the future of when you're going to be able to fulfill all those rewards. So so far we've been right on track with all of them. So hopefully we can get the rest of them out in October. So
Yeah, I would imagine that would be difficult to figure all of that out that far ahead.
yeah, the ones in October are the ones that have the stamps, which we had to have manufactured from somebody else. So whenever you have something like that in the mix,
yeah.
that's where we're running into some
That
problems.
whole waiting on somebody else for your dreams, that's when it's frustrating.
Yeah, you're like, answer the emails. Give me a quote.
If this were up to me, this would have already happened.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm ready. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at with that. So that was really a fun and exciting thing. And I learned a lot about myself and the world through doing that. So it was a very interesting adventure, an experience I'm glad I had.
Yeah. And you're still having. It's amazing to hear about. And that's one of the things that I love visiting with you and just being with you, is because you are so positive and you always just focus on the positive, and you believe that not only that you can make your dreams come true, but that everybody else can make their dreams come true too. And I feel it when I'm with you. And that's why, I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with someone like that?
Oh, well, you're nice, Steph. I do believe that. I really, really, really do. I really do believe that people can do that.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing. So do you have any other questions, Stephanie, that you wanted to ask?
I think she's covered it all. I've
been talking too much.
No. I so would love to take part in this. I just think it would be so much fun because like I mentioned earlier, I love the detail. Like that was part of the magic of the Court of Angels, is that it's that little kind of gem, kind of hidden, but still done to all to the detail. Or even I'm babbling, the balconies in New Orleans Square. I mean, how many people actually see the balconies? I think you can only see them when you're up in the tree house and you look down, and they have, there's a book laid on a little table next to a thing of sweet tea, just looking like somebody has stepped inside the window. And, that type of detail and attention, and being able to get your own inspiration from all of that detail around you just sounds like the most fantastic type of workshop to take part in. And I would, I really hope you do the online or you do other ones, because I so want to go.
Yes. Well, the plan is to do more than just this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. Let's just dream big if we're going to dream big, right? I would love to do them in February, October, and December, because those are the only months I like to be at Disneyland. So
without the crowds, you're like me. I avoid the crowds.
Yeah, and just the weather. I can handle the crowds if it's cool, or I can I can handle it being cold, but I can't handle it when it's hot and crowded.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other is fine. We can deal, but not both. So that's when I like to go. Although, it would be interesting. I've never been I've never been in July when they have the 4th of July decorations, which I would love. But it would be interesting to do this workshop during a crowded time, because the idea is this is the perfect workshop to do when it's crowded, because you're not needing to worry about
the rides and everything else.
rushed to and fro. But when it's hot, I just can't imagine me sitting there drawing for 20 minutes while the sun's beating down on my neck.
At 100 degrees.
Go to the Hungry Bear restaurant all the way in the back.
Exactly. And we will be going there.
And you sit in the nice breeze and watch the Columbia go by.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So I think of my mom was not like a roller coaster. She didn't like a lot of the rides, and she would just bring a book to Disneyland, and she would wait for us, and then we'd all run over there and check in with her and run back and then run in. And I just remember that. And she was just telling me she wishes she would have had something like this, because there are a lot of moms, well, and probably dads, who don't like those rides. Mm-hmm. So they do a lot of waiting at Disneyland by themselves. So this will also be a perfect thing for those.
There
for
you
those
go.
people.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's move into our picks with Pixie Dust then. Stephanie, do you have a pick?
Yes, I stumbled across a website called AppCrawlr, and it's an app discovery engine. And because, I need more apps. Because so what I thought was neat about it is you could type in the name of an app that you have, and you can select a button that says more like this. And so it'll go through and give you more. And you can look through and you can click compare. So you can compare multiple apps to see what they have, what their ratings are, what the costs are, and some general background about it. So I threw in your stuff, and when I did more like this, it came up with a lot of the Disney parks and the wait time ones and stuff.
Yeah.
So so then it will kind of look at it, and you can say, it'll start to categorize other apps, and it'll be Disney parks. So you can click on the Disney parks, and it gives you all different apps to go along with the Disney parks. So
very cool.
Yeah, kind of a rabbit hole that you can fall into real quick.
Yeah.
It's one of those you need to browse through, but set a timer.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
So I thought it was neat, and I'll probably kind of use it to go back in and compare some of the photography apps I have and see where the overlaps are, or maybe see if I can weed out some of the things that are on my iPhone.
There you go.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I need to do that too.
Okay, Tangie, do you have a pick?
I do. I don't know if it's ever been picked before, but I love is it Rhonna Designs?
Rhonna.
Yeah. I love her app for doing Disney quotes.
Yeah.
That you can use in Instagram and print off and use in your art journals.
She has fun designs in there.
Yeah, and it's so easy, and it only takes a few minutes, and it's I think it's very user friendly. So
yeah, is it Rhonna Designs? Do you know?
I think so.
Let me pull my phone up. I have it on.
Yeah, I think mine just on my phone. It's just called Rhonna, Rhonna. That's what I typed in the App Store. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and the icon is Rhonna Designs. Yeah. But I'm sure you can find it just by typing in Rhonna, Rhonna.
Yeah. So I heart that a lot.
Yeah. I haven't used it that much. I downloaded it, but I haven't ever really gotten into using it that much. But I like everybody's stuff that they post on Instagram using it. It's fun.
Yeah. When you have, I mean, if you want to do a whole quote from scratch, it takes you a little while, but it's worth it to be able to have it on your phone.
Yeah.
When you're out and about.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Perfect. Okay, my pick is an app as well. It's an iPad app. Well, it's an iPhone app too, but we have it on the iPad and my kids use it. My daughter uses it on the iPad. It's Sofia the First Story Theater. And it's Princess Sofia, and the kids can go through and make their own stories. There's characters, and backgrounds, and they can move the characters around and talk while they're making these stories, and the app records them doing that. Yeah, and so it's been
Very
so cute because my daughter took it and made a bunch of stories, and now we can play them back, and it is so cute to hear her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's adorable. Adorable.
That is so cute. I'm going to have to send that to my nieces.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I had no idea that the app was as cute as it was until she showed me. She's like, "Do you want to see my story I made, Mom?" And I was just, my heart melted when she showed it to me.
So cute.
Yeah. So cute. So that is my pick. And I don't know how much it is. Let me look and see if I can see that. No. Darn
Here,
it.
I'll pull it up because I don't have it.
You don't have it. Yeah. Drives me crazy how the App Store won't show me prices when I bought it. Because I'm pretty sure we bought it. It's called Sofia the First Story Theater. And it's an official, of course, because it's Sofia the First. It's official app. So
$3.99 it looks
there
like.
you go. I probably maybe got it on sale. I don't know.
Well, still, if
It's
you're
worth
if you can hear them
$3.99.
talking, it's worth $3.99.
It's
Yeah,
worth $3.99. I'm not like most people. I don't have an issue paying for apps, and I will spend money on apps without blinking usually because I think they're cheap for what you get. But,
Yeah.
I agree.
yeah. Alrighty, let's remind our listeners where they can go to find us. Stephanie.
You can find me at hainingmade.com and also on Capturing Magic, where my most recent post was the one about the birthday party.
Yeah, the Carsland birthday party with lots of tips and ideas on how to recreate the signage.
Yes.
Wow.
It was lots of fun. I you know me, I love the fonts.
Yeah. Really, really great ideas in there. Super fun too. Recreating the menus from flows, everything. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm kind of not knowing what to do with myself now. I'm like, all right, I have like all this time.
You need another project. All right, Tangie.
Mine. Oh, so I'm like, what am I doing? You can find me at tangiebaxter.com, and that has links to all the places I am online.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect. All right. I'm Steph. You can find me at capturingmagic.me. My other podcast is The Digi Show, and we just launched a brand new podcast this week called Daily Digi Digest. I'm like, what is it called? Daily Digi Digest. And within a day, it was in the iTunes New and Noteworthy and listed as the number 5 podcast in the arts category.
wow.
Which was super exciting
Good
for
job.
me. Yeah, right
Yeah,
under,
that's amazing.
I know, right under TED Talks. Hello. It was pretty impressive. I was shocked. So they're short podcasts. They will be about 14 to 30 minutes, and we will be interviewing different digital designers around. It's fun to listen to. So check it out if you want to check it out, and that's about it. You can find me at thedailydigi.com, where we have memberships for $50 worth of digital scrapbooking supplies for $7.50 a month or less. We would love to have you leave us a comment on the show notes for this show. You can find them at capturingmagic.me/61. And you can also ask questions that we will feature in a mail show, or share your own tips with us about creating and capturing magic. And check out our iPhone apps that can also be found in the iTunes Store, on the iTunes Store, which is how we're supposed to say it. On the iTunes Store for download, Capturing Magic, and you can also find out about them at capturingmagic.me/app if you want to find out more about what they do. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Steph.
Yeah, and we will be back here next time where we will be capturing magic.